a specialized one. You have other blogs that are not specialized. They are multi-purpose, they copy and paste, they don't mind about plagiarism, they don't mind about maybe copyright issues. So that will be the focus on media review segment of Inside Today. My guest is a lawyer herself and the co-publisher of the Metro Lawyer, Mrs. Teoje Sam Seb Eko. Thanks for joining me on Insight.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Oden.
Okay, now let's start it this way. When somebody hears the Metro Lawyer, what is it all about?
Well, the Metro Lawyer is an online publication. It started out as a blog, as you call it, but now it's a little bit more than just a blog. It's a news site, which, as we say we carry everything with a legal twist. So it's a publication where every news item has something about law, something legal. There will be a legal question. It could be legal opinions, profiles about legal personalities, just everything within the legal space.
So if, for instance, we have a regular news that is very hot on the streets and we send to Metro Lawyer, can't it be carried there?
We would carry it. You know, in society, almost everything there's a legal angle to almost everything. It could be maybe a crime. This hot news you're talking about could be maybe a crime. You know, there's a legal angle to that. It could be something about the president. The president is the commander-in-chief of the Federal Republic, and he's a legal personality, you know, to some extent. And almost everything, like we said, we do almost everything in society. Society is ruled by law, and you know, so we carry almost everything like that.
Okay, one of the central focus of Insight today is looking at national cohesion, security, ensuring peace through a lot of advocacy. So how well has Metro Lawyer used its platform to sustain national cohesion in Nigeria?
Well, most times before we publish our news, we take time to edit and make sure that we don't carry anything that has any coloration of hate speech, anything that would bring anarchy or bring lack of cohesion between. We know that Nigeria is a pluralist state, and so we carry news that don't shake the polity in any way. So that's what we do. We edit most of our stories in that manner.
Yeah, we know that Nigeria has the Freedom of Information Act, FOI, and most times there's this question of integrity between the traditional media and the new media. You fall within the new media, and one vulnerable group is the new media. Most times they are sensational. They don't care about reporting for sustained peace. They don't care about reporting for peace. Just a few days ago, we had a lot polarized, sensational, coming from the social media. What advice do you have for co-practitioners like you?
The advice I'll have for co-practitioners in this instance is that, you know, like we do, and like I've said, we should always try not to carry anything that will shake up the polity, any news, because if the polity is shaken and there's war or there are issues, we would all suffer for it. You know, we are all in this together. So we should be seen as partners in Nigeria's progress, not in using our platforms to make Nigeria to disintegrate. In such, I agree with you that most times new media, there's so much sensationalism. There's not really any professionalism, you know, and that's because there's really no law regulating social media. There's really no law that targets social media, you know, in order to regulate it. And I think that's why we have all these issues.
Okay. Recently, we have had so much unguarded utterances across the divide, from the very high elites, politicians, social groups, that if care is not taken, it could balkanize the country. But we don't pray for that, because our founding fathers talked about the indivisibility of Nigeria remaining sacrosanct. Do you have plans to using the Metro Lawyer to come up with packages that will tend to mend than disunite us?
We do. We actually have quite a number of activities and publications that we are thinking of bringing out, but we are still trying to fine tune them and work on them. So I can't really reveal what we are working on right now because it's really not been well tuned.
Okay.
But we'll come out with them in the shortest possible.
Some of the traditional media houses, the tabloids, the electronic media want to have a peep on the horse trading, the who is who, and maybe they want to capitalize on the presence of Editorial to go there to find out what are the politicking. Okay,
for now, the NBA has not lifted the ban on campaigning, so we don't really have so much content for the people that are running for NBA presidency and other positions in the NBA Executive Council. But because we know the people that are contesting, like for the presidency, we have Chief Author Obi Okafor-San, we have Mazia Famosigwe, we have Paul Usoro-San, we have Professor Ernest Ojukwu-San. These are among the very prominent people that have come out to run for presidency. So because we know these people, we have some news about them. If they go someplace, they give a speech or give a lecture, we carry it
so
in
what was that big deal that I must abandon all other legal blogs and focus on Metro Lawyer? Why is Metro Lawyer special?
Metro Lawyer is special because we carry, our news is devoid of sentiments. We do a very good job of editing whatever we put out there. We also break the news as it happens, especially within legal circles. And we don't just pick and drop or copy and paste anything. Of course, most times we may not have original news, but 80% of our content is original. When we get news from other blogs, other tabloids and all that, we credit source, it is one of our very, very fundamental practices. We don't copy and paste people's stories and pass it off as ours.
Okay, for national unity to be sustained, imagine now that there's a lot of unguarded statements by people who should not be speaking. Now, I imagine the presidency says, okay, Metro Lawyer, you are doing well. Come and take up this project. Conscientize Nigerians on the need to ensure that we are one. What message will you sell out, speaking as the co-publisher of the Metro Lawyer?
The message I would sell out, if such arises, and which I pray will come up very soon, is that we are all one. Nigeria is one. We should not, by ourselves, try to disintegrate the country using the platforms that we all have, whether it's the traditional news platforms or the blogs. Most times you see that the blogs are just maybe being manned by one person or two, and then the person, if he's not a professional journalist, and because I'm sure professional journalists have been trained on, not to carry fake news, not to carry sensational news, just to sell. But this is what a lot of bloggers do. So that would be the message I'll be carrying across, that they should try to use their platforms to even unify the country rather than disintegrate it.
Okay. Well, as a last word, let me speak with you. I know that your major publics are the lawyers. How well informed are they through the Metro Lawyer?
Oh, they are very well informed. In fact, we've had so many
Look, I know that
reviews.
They say the law is an ass and legal practice thrives on controversy. Isn't that much of what you publish at the Metro Lawyer is controversy?
No, we don't. We don't just publish controversy.
Okay.
If there's a controversial issue, of course we'll publish it. We'll just to make our readers to be aware. Recently, there was a controversy about the NBA Unity Bar. In fact, which now culminated in the branch having two factions. Of course, we followed it. We followed that controversy all to the end. We interviewed both parties. Whatever both factions came up with, we reported without any sentiment at all. So, but and all in all, we've had so many reviews, so many acknowledgements that, oh, Metro Lawyer, you're doing a good job, keep it up, and all that. And that's what keeps us going, because we know that we are not, nobody, we are not being bought by anybody. We are just reporting it as it is, informing our immediate audience, which are the lawyers and even the members of the public.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Teoja Sam Sep Eko, the co-publisher of the Metro Lawyer, published by TML News and Media Limited.
Thank you so much.
It was nice sharing your thought with me on the media review segment of Insight.
I appreciate the time.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
That's about that on the media review segment on Insight. I'll be with you in a bit. Stay with us. That's it on Insight today. When there is crisis, it knows no bound, it knows no religion, it knows no political party. What we need to do to ensure that we live peacefully and coexist as a people to sustain the dream of our forefathers, that is the founding fathers of Nigeria, is to ensure that whenever there is insecurity, there are differences, we walk a way to finding solutions to it. I believe you learned a lot from the thoughts given today by our guests. Always be our guests on Insight. On behalf of all of us, bye-bye.